So here is a new touchscreen that I bought. I bought it off Amazon. It's the Panlelo Android head unit. I'll post the link in the description below. So far I've had it for about a week or so, and I can't say nothing but I absolutely love the difference between the OEM one and this one. My original one never really kept the Bluetooth going at all. Every time the car would turn off, it would have to manually be connected back. At least with this one, I don't have to worry about that. As long as Bluetooth is turned on my phone, I automatically connect back to it. I don't have to touch anything. And just to show you how long the boot screen takes, it takes about 25 seconds. You can also change the logo and the boot screen inside the menu, just in case you don't like it how it usually comes stock. And right now it's saying check audio, but you can disable that by disconnecting the battery for about 10 seconds, and that should take care of that little warning. If not, it will pop up each and every time you turn on the car. As you can see, it's trying to find Bluetooth. It'll take a couple more seconds for it to connect to my phone. My phone is just right here. I have to find a better place for it because every time I take a couple of turns, it just turns off. A little too loud, but as you can see, it just connected by itself. I don't have to do anything to it. The audio is definitely a lot better than OEM, and let me turn this off. Like I was saying before, the audio after the head unit was installed definitely got a lot better. I can actually hear a lot better mids and highs, and this is still the stock speakers. They're not even Harmon Karmen. The touchscreen itself, very responsive, no delay. You won't be able to get this station out of the box. Usually it'll skip from 96.2 to 96.4. It'll miss the 0.3, and there's a way to fix that, and you'll have to go into settings. Then you'll scroll down to factory settings. I'll ask you for a code. The code is 8317. Then scroll down until you see factory mode. And here the password is 8888. Okay. And you'll click the first option, which is radio. After that, radio area. Now mine is already set to America 4, which is perfect. It doesn't skip anything. The audio is very clear. I didn't need to get a different adapter for the antenna. And let's see. Yep. Another thing that you have to do in order to hear the stations clearly is make sure you have the power antenna wire connected to the harness itself. If not, you'll find out that the stations are either missing or you can't hear them right, almost too staticky. This will fix it. From what I found out in the forums is that for Subaru, it uses a power antenna cable to boost the signal. Don't know why it's like that. It's just how it is. Just make sure you connect that before you plug in your harness. Now for me, I use the regular Metro harness. I'll put that in the description below as well. What that does is just a factory harness for power, speakers, left, right, everything else. The only thing that it's missing is the steering wheel controls, which you can add on later, but right now I just wanted to plug and play around with it for a bit. One thing I forgot to mention is that once you do the radio adjustment for America 4, you're going to have to get a little pen or a pin and just press it in the reset button, which is right above the SD card. Once you do that, the actual head unit will restart, and once it comes back, you should be able to hear all the stations on your radio perfectly normal. This does come with a 16 gig SD card, which you can load a couple of movies on there. And as long as you ground out the wire in the back for, I believe, the handbrake, you should be able to see it while moving. Fast forward, play.
Odds are that's where he is.
And the other feature that I really like, even though it took me a little while to get, it to work is the mirror screen capability of this. What you'll need is the USB cable that originally came with your phone, and what you'll have to do is go here, go to Easy Connect, and then with your phone have it connected. Click OK. Go into settings, all the way down to about device. Then we're gonna go down to build number, and you're gonna have to click that 7 times. Now for me, it already says that developer mode has been already turned on, but once you click 7 times, it should open it up. Then you hit the back button and you should see developer option, and the setting that you're looking for is debug. Mine is already turned on, so we're ready to go. And once you have that plugged in, I'll ask you yes, and then it will cast your screen right onto the touchscreen. Now the nice thing about it is if we put the orientation right, we should be able to go into maps. I'll flip this around. We'll click OK. That's just because my location is disabled, which doesn't matter. The other nice thing is you can still control everything through the touchscreen itself. That way you don't have to keep touching your phone in order to just display it. The controls for the phone will be right here, so if we go back, it'll take us back to the home screen, and we can open up another app, like let's say YouTube. We'll click play, full screen that, and there you go. This comes very in handy for long drives. Now as for the bezel I'll put the link in the description below. I love it a lot just because it gave me the capability of keeping the OEM trim, which is what I like the best. I've seen a couple of different options that show another one, but that one is more of a gloss black kind of a look. You can still try it if you want, but I just like to keep it as simple as possible. This just eliminates having any gaps on the sides. Now this, you may notice once you get to the side view that it pokes a little bit out from the sides. This is fine. And in the middle it's nice and flush, there's no edge, and then it continues back to the side. If that bothers you, then you may want to consider getting the other one, but for me this is fine. I don't mind. It works. As for the sound, it can get pretty loud. Here, I'll show you.
Cigarette. And Chesterfield is a clean, fresh taste in your mouth.
It's pretty nice, and that's just at 20%. You can probably bump it up higher and it won't matter, but for me that's more than enough. And as for those that are wondering how it looks like at night, this is how mine looks like. I have under lighting that came stock with this car. It definitely illuminates a little bit, but it could be brighter. The only other pet peeve that I have about this head unit is it's definitely a